Welcome to the Eagle Flyer Podcast. I'm your host, Eagle Flyer Cal, and today we're going to be talking about this Nintendo Direct that we just had last Thursday, February 13th, 2014, and we're just going to discuss some of these things that we've learned, some of the trailers that we got, some new information that we know, and then we kind of want to go and discuss, if Nintendo really made this Direct all that it should have been, given the stage that the circumstances really set up. So let's talk about, these games. We can talk about, the trailers and all that good stuff. So the first bit of information, now I actually didn't get to see the Nintendo Direct. I was actually outside shoveling snow. It snowed like crazy here for whatever reason. It's kind of a rarity here. Where I used to live, we did get a lot of snow, but here, it's kind of a rarity, and it was just weird. So it was just very heavy snow, and I was out there for a little while. I missed the Nintendo Direct, so I was just kind of reading up on it afterwards. I don't have the exact order with me today, but I don't think that's really going to matter because what I'm doing is I'm actually on Pretendo.co. That is the Nintendo website that I write for. And what we have is, we have all the news stories on here. So I'm just going to go through them, give my opinions on what, we got. So let's go to the first bit of information we have. So this one is actually probably the best news that we received the entire Direct. Let's just be honest. And that is that Little Mac, the main character from Punch-Out!, is in Smash Bros. 4 or Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. So Little Mac, he's kind of been, a fan favorite to add to the roster. Punch-Out! Obviously was a lot of people's, one of their favorite games. I mean, it was a really solid game. It was extremely challenging. And, a lot of people love that game, and they really believe that Little Mac deserves a spot in the Smash Bros. Game. And, they finally got their wish, and I'm really happy for him. And Little Mac, his trailer, this is probably one of the best reveal trailers ever. The art style was just, it blew me away. It looks really, really cool. And, it was really, really neat. Obviously, there's a lot of Samus and Little Mac fan fiction going around after this trailer. I have no idea why. It's just the internet, I suppose. But, it looks really, really good. He looks like he's going to be a really solid fighter, a really solid character. I'm personally still waiting for Nintendo to reveal Ness, because they haven't revealed him yet. There was a fake reveal, but we haven't got a real reveal for Ness yet. So he's my main guy. I'm waiting for him to be revealed. But Little Mac, I think this is the best reveal trailer by far. I just think the way they did it, the way you can hear the coach narrate his fight, I thought it was freaking awesome. So I'm really glad. I think he's a great addition to the roster. I'm not really sure what his fighting style is going to be, but watching the trailer, I mean, it seems like he's going to be very fast. He's going to be kind of up close and personal. So, it's going to be really cool to fight against him and try him out. So let's go to the second bit of information that is on here on Pretendo.co, and that is Mario Golf World Tour. That got a North American release date for May 2nd. And, this game, we've kind of heard a lot about this game, throughout the course of the past 2 years. And I have to say, this game always impresses me in terms of graphics. This just looks like such a clean and polished game. And, because the 3DS had so many games coming out, they really could take the time and polish it. And, I think that's something that Nintendo does so well, once they establish a schedule, the waiting for games to get like polished up and everything isn't painful. And the products just look fantastic. I mean, this game doesn't even look like it should be able to run on 3DS. But because golf, it's such a small, you don't need a lot of things on screen. They could really concentrate on polishing the game up. And it looks fantastic. Probably one of the best looking games on 3DS. And with all the online features, I mean, it just seems like that's the right direction for Nintendo to go in. So I'm probably going to pick this one up. I'm not a big fan of golf, but I think that the way that they're handling it, it deserves a purchase. It deserves some support. So yeah, that game looks really, really good. So what we're going to go to now is actually Bayonetta 2. We got a new trailer for that. So we'll go ahead and we will look at that real quick. I'm looking at it real quick. So Bayonetta 2. This one is the Did You Miss Me trailer. This is also on Pretendo.co. And what we have here is a new trailer for Bayonetta, like I said. And, I've never played the first Bayonetta. I never got a chance to play that. I heard that it was really a really good game. Hack and slash isn't really my style. But I'm thinking, that this trailer for, fans of hack and slash, this trailer, it's like the typical... what I perceive as over-the-top action for the game, and it looks great. It really does. I think they polished it up a bit since I've last seen it, which I guess was around E3, somewhere around there. So it looks really good. I think this game is something that is not going to sell well, but I think that people are really going to appreciate it. Like those hardcore gamers, they're really going to appreciate this game. So. The trailer, like I said, it looks like Bayonetta. It looks like Bayonetta. Obviously, the graphics look fantastic. There seems to be a little bit more action. It's just over the top, hack and slash, crazy combination. It looks like it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a really good game. It's just disappointing that we didn't get a release date because we're starving for games on the Wii U. So I think a release date would have been really cool. But what they're saying is in Japan, it's probably going to see a summer release. So hopefully it's a worldwide release and we do get it, around the same time as Japan. It would be great if we could get it before them. But, we're just going to have to wait this one out. But, it's definitely a game that is going to, it's going to be something to look forward to, I think. I think it's going to be a really good special game on Wii U that's just going to be talked about for a long time. So let's move on to the second thing here. Or this is the fourth thing. I'm going crazy. Please bear with me. And this is Kirby Triple Deluxe. And this game actually looks pretty solid. I haven't really been a fan of the Kirby games since the GBAs. I had the Wii version, and that was actually really fun. I played that with my brother and my sister, and I thought that was actually a really fun game. I just don't think the level design in Kirby games are that great. I think they're too easy, and I think that the level design, isn't that great. But, whenever you have a character that can fly, I mean, unless the game's called Superman 64, it's actually really good. Or not good. I'm going crazy, I told you. It's actually really easy. So whenever you have a character that can fly, the game's going to be easy, unless it's Superman 64, and it's not like that at all. So what we have is the release date for North America, and it's also going to release on May 2nd, so the same day as Mario Golf. Why they would do that, I'm not really sure. That kind of confuses me a little bit, but that's what they're going to do. I don't really have that much to say about this one, to be honest. It's a Kirby game. It looks like it's an improvement over, the Wii one. It would have been cool to have 4-player online. I think that would just make it more enjoyable. But it looks good. It looks like Kirby, and it probably plays very well. So we have a full release date for Mario Kart 8. Now this is good news. The problem is, and I knew they were going to do this, they decided to they said it was going to come in May in their investors meeting, and unfortunately, it's going to be at the end of May, May 30th. That's the release date for Mario Kart. And personally, I think it will be worth the wait, but I think it's way too late to wait for Mario Kart, and we're going to have a huge drought. And, even with these games coming out, even with DK coming out, it feels like we're going to be having, a very similar year to last year. It's just feeling that way. So, I think they really should have, pushed this game out. Obviously, I want to have a nice polished game. I don't want to have problems. And, that's one of the things that I think Nintendo does so well. Like I said earlier, they really polish games. But, we really do need some games, and that console needs to start selling. It's just hard to establish momentum, especially, right after DK, we don't really have anything after that. So, I mean, the game looks great. The new trailer looks fantastic. This game looks like it's ready. I'm kind of concerned that they haven't mentioned a lot of online features in this game. I think that, this game has some serious potential to be one of those really solid, not only single player experiences, but online experiences as well. So, this Mario Kart is a game that I play a lot. I mean, I have over 100 hours clocked into Mario Kart 7, and it's a good thing that the original DS couldn't clock hours, because I had a ton of time in Mario Kart DS. I played that game pretty much every day for like 4 years. It was crazy. So I can't wait for this one to come out, because I'm going to be playing it like insanely amount. It's going to be crazy. People probably won't see me for a year. So I'm really looking forward to that game. And let's see what we got. Our next thing is Steel Diver Sub Wars, and we got a trailer for that. It's on the eShop right now. I haven't gotten around to downloading it. I don't have any room left on my SD card. I meant to pick one up. I'll probably do that this weekend, because I'm interested in trying it out and just seeing how it is. I don't know. Steel Diver just never really appealed to me. And, it's just kind of a weird announcement. It's like their kind of attempt to go to free to play. It has like online co-op and whatnot. So who knows? It might be fun. I heard some good things about it from some people. They said the online's very fun. I heard of a little bit of connection issues. I'm not really sure how, accurate that is. I really wouldn't think about that too much unless you're really experiencing a lot of them yourself. But it seems like, a pretty okay way for Nintendo to try out free to play. I mean, it's not really that well known of a franchise. So, who knows? It might be a good idea for them to try, with that game. So what else do we have here? So we have a GBA Virtual Console is going to hit the Wii U this April. And I honestly don't really understand this move too much. I think that GBA should probably stay on the handheld, on the 3DS. I think it would work better. But, it seems like they're going to take it to the Wii U. There's a lot of GBA games that I want to play. So, I think it's cool. But it's just weird that, GBA and DS games are going to be on their way to the Wii U Virtual Console, and they're not going to be going to the 3DS. It just kind of seems weird to me. But, I think it's going to be pretty neat. I think a lot of people will like it. I think a lot of people will appreciate it because, GBA was a really good platform, and there's a lot of awesome games on that. And if you're anything like me, I had one of those old GBAs, the original. I'm actually holding it right now. And, it was back when they didn't have the backlit screens. So it was so hard to, play the games. Back then, before, I got, a DS, it was I didn't really think anything of it. It was just kind of, accepted that it didn't have a backlight. And when I go back and play it now, it's how did I even play this system? So experiencing, GBA games, not only on, the bigger screen, but having the backlight, which I never had, an SP or a DS Lite. I mean, I had the original, the DS, but I don't really have that many GBA games, to be honest. But I look back at the GBA and it's like, I can't believe I could actually play it on here. So it will be cool to, be able to play some GBA games, maybe some of my older GBA games, on the virtual console. So, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be really cool. And, obviously there's people that never really got to experience the GBA. And it's going to be cool for them to go ahead and try that out. The next one is Pokemon Battle Trozai. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing this right. But it's like this weirdo Pokemon type game. I don't really know that much about it, to be honest. In fact, I don't even know if I watched this trailer. I'm not really sure. I have no idea. It looks like it has a lot of Pokemon and stuff like that. It looks like it's like matching and whatnot. It's not something that I typically care too much about. The trailer looks like it's alright. It's just not my kind of game. I'm pretty sure there will be people that will appreciate it. I'm just not one of them, to be honest. I'm just not one of them. But it looks good. It looks like a solid game, a nice little time waster. Once again, it's just not for me. Also, what we have word of a new NES remix, NES Remix 2. I forget when that's coming out. This is NES Remix. It's coming in April, the 25th of April, actually. This stuff is actually coming from IGN. And it's going to include 12 games. It's going to be $14.99. And it's going to have some pretty cool games. It's going to have Ice Hockey, Wario's Woods, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 2 Lost Levels, Super Mario Bros. 3, Dr. Mario, Kirby's Adventure, Kid Icarus, oh that's cool, Punch-Out, Metroid, and NES Open Tournament Golf. So that's actually a really, really cool list of games. So, that actually sounds really cool. And I heard rumors that in Japan, it's called the Famicom remix. And that is actually going to not only have a digital release, but it is going to be physically released as well. And I'm not really sure if they are going to do that here in the United States. I mean, I don't think it would really sell that well as a physical game. But, I wouldn't rule it out. Because we did get a physical version of Super Luigi U or something like that. I forget what it's called exactly. So, I wouldn't rule it out. I just wouldn't say that it's very likely. But, I don't know. That would be kind of a cool thing to own. The issue I have with this announcement, there's not really going to be a lot of hype surrounding this game. I mean, I have the original remix, and I think it's a lot of fun. I think it would be perfect on the Nintendo 3DS. I think that would be one of the best games on 3DS if they could get it on there. But, they put it on the Wii U instead, and I just don't think there's going to be hype surrounding this. Like, this is kind of a game that is awesome when they announce it right on the spot, like the first one. Like, this is available now. So I kind of think they should have waited on it. I don't think this is going to get people excited. I'm sure people are looking forward to it and they'll pick it up once it hits the eShop. But, I don't think it's really going to be that game that is going to really, drive people or drive up the console sales. And I don't think it's really meant to be. But, it just having it like a release date, it really doesn't seem necessary to me. But it looks like it's going to be really neat. There's some really, really cool games on there like I just listed. So that looks really cool. And last but not least, what we have is a kind of a gameplay trailer. It's very small. And it did leave a lot of questions. And as I read the comments, there is a lot of people here on Pretendo.co that are kind of, they have some questions about the game that are really still left unanswered. And we still don't have a release date for it as well. But I'm not sure if this game is really close to being done or not. But we did get the release trailer. or not the release trailer. I wish we got the release trailer. No, we got a gameplay trailer. And, it looks good. It looks like it's going to be a really solid game. It's just kind of hard because, out of context, these battles don't really, mean anything to us. So I think in context, it would be really, really neat. And, I think the gameplay looks pretty solid. It looks similar to Xenoblade. And, it looks like it's going to be, a really good looking game. The graphics look fantastic. I just really want to get my hands on it. But, there is a lot of questions, surrounding the game. The machines look cool. I think that looks like it's going to be a really interesting gameplay mechanic going inside the machines and whatnot. But the trailer didn't really show much. Like I said, it showed just the battle. We got the basic idea down. And from that, we can kind of make some analysis and, we'll just kind of judge what the game will look like until we get more details. But, I think every Nintendo Direct from now on should have some information of this game. Just kind of walk us through, what they added to the game and, fill us in on some details, get the hype going. It looks really awesome. You guys can check out all of these news stories on Pretendo.co. And, we have all the trailers and everything. It looks really cool. So, I think X is going to, once again, it's going to be kind of a niche game. I think people will appreciate it. And I honestly think it will be considered, one of the top RPGs this year. Or whenever it releases. I'm thinking it will probably release, maybe sometime in October. That might be too soon. Maybe it'll get pushed back. I'm not sure. But it's definitely the best looking Wii U game we've ever seen. So I'm just kind of curious to see what the final product will be and how close this game is in development. So, what do I think of this Nintendo Direct? Honestly, I think this is kind of a mixed bag. I think they did a really good job in, bringing out a really good first announcement with Little Mac. I love the trailers. I love, I really enjoyed the trailers. I think this was better than the last Nintendo Direct. But at the same time, I'm just going to be honest. I wasn't expecting, to have a, just a massive, outpour of, huge games, huge new games that we haven't seen before. I wasn't really expecting that. But what I was expecting was release dates. And we didn't get release dates, and that kind of, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I think that, with this console, you really have to drive up the hype for it. And, without providing us, any kind of idea of when some of these games are going to release, it's not really getting people to run out and buy the Wii U. So I think they really have to do a better job in their upcoming directs to really, rise to the circumstances. Because the circumstances really set the table for Nintendo. And, they're feeding us the same appetizers that they've been feeding us since last year. So, we want more information on these games that we heard about a year ago. And I think that's important for Nintendo to really, give us more and more details and really drive that home. Because without it, we're kind of lost here. We don't really know when these games are going to release. And if you're not an owner yet, you're not going to buy the console until you know when these games are. And if there's no games that are coming out soon, you might as well just wait until they all come out and then you can, pick and choose. But, I think they have to do a better job. Just, overall in getting, every one of these games, out there. So, I think the amount of information that we haven't been hearing has just kind of, it's not really healthy for business, I don't think. I think, the more details that we can get, the happier the fans are going to be. And I think it's just, you have hype, you have a solid release date, you have, a physical date where that these games are going to be available. And for most of the games, we don't have that. And like I said, Mario Kart 8, that release date is too late because we do not have anything in between. I mean, you have games like, NES Remix and all that, but we're not seeing it, we're not seeing a huge retail game, get released. And I hear a lot of people talk about the indie developer games as well, the indie games. But, those games really can't substitute for full retail games. That's not really the reason why a lot of people bought the Wii U. So, I think it's just extremely important that Nintendo needs to give us release dates for these games so we know exactly when they're going to be coming out. So, I think that, Nintendo, they should have concentrated a little bit more on the Wii U. I don't want to say they shouldn't talk about the 3DS at all, because there are 3DS owners out there that are interested in some of these games. And, I don't think that they should stop talking about one of their products, but at the same time, they really have to put more emphasis on the Wii U, because that's obviously a greater need right now, because that one is kind of not doing well at all. So, they just really have to, they need to really focus on the Wii U. And, Wii U owners are not happy. I think for the majority of owners, they're not happy with, the effort that not only Nintendo has been putting in releasing these games, but putting in their release dates and all that, the lack of information, it's kind of left us in the dark. So, I think that's a big deal, and I think Nintendo's going to have to address that in the future. But, overall, this Nintendo Direct, it really wasn't that bad. There was some really cool information. We got some really neat trailers. That little Mac and reveal trailer was amazing. Had awesome art. Really made me hype for Smash Bros. Even more than I already was. The Bayonetta 2 trailer was awesome. And, the X trailer, the gameplay trailer was really cool too. So we did get some really cool things in this Direct. It wasn't awful. It was better than most Directs. Once again, I just think that it should have been better, and the circumstances really made it seem like it was going to be better. But I'm not like, totally upset. I think that, once again, there's room for improvement. But overall, I think it was, pretty solid. I think we got some, good information. I just don't think we got enough information. But I did like the information that we got. I was pretty happy with most of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just think that, we've just seen Nintendo, over the past couple years not take advantage of all of the circumstances. We have, E3 last year. We had the Cranky Kong whole fiasco thing at the VGX. And, we had this Nintendo Direct, and they've all seemed like they were missed opportunities to either get the Wii U more exposure or really, do something pretty big. So, it's kind of starting to get a little bit frustrating. I mean, I'm used to it, but it's just been a little bit frustrating. I think they need to do better, for the fans. But that is going to be it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode 2 of the Eagle Flyer Podcast. So you can find me on twitch.com at EagleFlyerCal, same for Twitter and YouTube. And you can also find me and my podcast on EagleFlyerPodcast.blogspot.com, and you can find me on Pretendo.co. And actually, you should go check out Pretendo.co. That's where I got all of these news stories from today. It is a great site for Nintendo fans, and it is awesome if you want to publish your own articles. So anyone can do it. It's free. It's awesome. Go check it out. But that is it. You can also find me on iTunes, I believe, if everything is working properly. I'm not 100% sure if it is. But yeah, that's encouraging. So until next time, Eagle Flyer Cal, out.